We greet you all and we welcome you to Education TV. Education TV, we say we inspire, we educate and entertain. Today is another day that the Lord, our Jesus Christ, has also made for us, the 20th May 2024. And as usual, the Education TV on the School Bell Show, we have to meet and discuss the very, very important issues within the educational circles. Very soon, our children who are going to be assessed on the Common Core program, and there's a need for us to ensure that these learners are going to be put on the spot for them to come out with the quality that we are all deserving. The question people have been asking is what form of assessment that the learners are going to be. In the quest of the Ministry of Education to support and educate the Ghanaian general public concerning the assessment models, the Ministry of Education came out very clear and very, very simple to say that at this point in time, the education that we are going to assess or the models that the children are going to be assessed are not going to cover the compulsory aspects, the ICT, or what people call it, computing. This issue has raised a lot of comments, a lot of issues, a lot of criticisms. People are saying it is a backward decision. Others are also saying that it's favorable and it's fit for the purpose. And today we are going to look at it in a broader perspective, online learning. Whether or not the country is well positioned to roll out the entire country online learning, or we need to do it gradually. As even the Constitution, Article 25 says that gradual compulsory delivery of what? Education. This morning, these are some of the issues that we are going to discuss, and you can also be part of the show by sending your comments, by sending your views on our Facebook links and all our social media platforms, and I will do the justice to read it. And if there are any comments on that, we will provide you the details. My name has not been changed. I'm still Obinfo Nana Kwesi Jetuan, sitting in the seat for Nana Adwoa, who is indisposed this morning, to ensure that the learners or our viewers will not be this they will have the comfort to watch our programs always. And let's take this opportunity to acknowledge our people who are sponsoring us. We will say Trinity Academy is the best school that your child will be able to attend. And if you want to reach out Trinity Academy, you can reach out Trinity Academy at Domi Pillar 2 in Greater Accra region. When you go there, there is a nice place, a serene environment for you that you can even attest that education is taking place. If you are in Kumasi also, you can equally also go to Janet Educational Complex. Janet Educational Complex is located at Tafo in Shaeso, Kumasi, in the Ashanti region, where education is the best. We say Janet Educational Complex, we say education is the best. In the meantime, we will share their contact numbers and you can reach them within this year. That next year is going to be a new academic year. You can move your child to that school and your child performance would not be the same. Let me get back to the studio. We have Edem Zwale, who happens to be one of our regular, panelists in this show, who is all well vested in educational matters in terms of digital issues and all that. And he'll be providing insight for us to be able to know whether or not education at this point should be done online, or we have to wait for some time and then leave the criticisms people to continue give their criticisms as we improve upon educational standards in this country. We've been also joined in the studio with Mr. Osei Samuel, who happens to be the Director for Finance for Ghana National Council of Private School, very regular also on the platform, and also who is a law student in the CAF University of College. And he will also be providing insight with us what the law says in terms of delivering education, and how if education is delivered and it is not covering all the people, is there any liability the state will be held responsible for that? Would the people have justification to say that why you are providing education in terms of not in a pedestal, in an equal pedestal? So equity issues, he will be very, very, much interested to share with us. As I said, you can be part of this show by sending your comment and giving your input, and I will read it for you. But in the meantime, let's watch this short video that the children have put together, a poem that the children have put together to inspire you, to lead us as we prepare to discuss issues bordering education this morning.
The poem I'm reciting today is Afli Mata. Afli Mata Bibio Koni Homo Miyele. Ekoloshi, Kobi, Ni Dre Netu,
My name is.
What you have said, and I want the link.
The title of my poem is
you shared the Facebook link.
So far, so good.
The YouTube
We are
link.
still living today, but we don't know what tomorrow brings in this crazy world. People dying like flies every day and every night. It started from school dropout, then returned to gangsters. I regret doing this. I advise everybody to stay in school, because this world is so bad. I wish it would change.
My name is Hilda Boateng. In a world so connected, yet so divided, where opinions clash and hearts are misguided, searching for unity in this common ground, in this social environment, where hope can be found. Through screens and filters, we share our life, but sometimes it's hard to see through life. Let's listen with empathy, understand each voice. In this social environment, let's make a choice. No more judgment. Let's celebrate our differences. It's never too late. Let's find common ground where understanding and respect can be found. In this social environment, let's embrace our uniqueness. Come together.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to Education TV, the morning show, the school bell show that has been one of the main shows people usually watch it. And in terms you want to educate yourself in education, then it is about the school bell show, where we sit down and discuss issues affecting education. But in the meantime, let me acknowledge those who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube. Gillian Sampson, good morning. Samuel Smart, Ochre, Joyce Ya Sika Fusuhini, and Linda Yode. We greet you all for watching us this morning and having time to be with us. You can share your comments, you can share your views, and we will take it up here and discuss it for you. All right. So, Mr. Osei, let me come to you first. With the background in terms of education delivery and educational law, I want to find out from you, how is the law positioned in terms of delivery education in Ghana?
Okay, so let me use the opportunity to greet you and then greet your wonderful and cherished viewers and listeners this morning. It's always a privilege when you get the opportunity to talk and discuss matters of education, because we think it's the bedrock of development when it's come to a nation. And so this morning I am privileged to speak on matters of education. Now, it's clear and it's an obvious truth that the law makes it compulsory for every child to have access, and that is the right of every Ghanaian child.
Okay.
And for that matter, accessibility should be easy for all. And then children also are mandated and have the right to also enroll as students in the various schools. And so that has been the position of the law.
Okay. So it means that the law mandates each and every child to have access to education.
Exactly.
In the event that that accessibility is cut short, what will be the remedy?
Okay, so
for the child?
Yeah, so we are infringing on the child's right.
Okay.
And it's still on the trust of the government in power,
okay,
to make sure that those things are being mitigated.
All right.
It's obvious that as a people, we hold our government in trust,
okay,
with our constitution, making sure that whatever that we have set to agree with, or the constitution which has become a mother nurturing all of us,
okay,
he stands as the father to make sure that those laws are being abided by.
okay.
And so if there's a challenge of not being able to meet the same standard, then it becomes an issue because it infringes on somebody's right.
Okay.
And that is what the law seems to always speak against.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that wonderful insight shared. That's Mr. Osei Samuel, who is an educationist and also a legal person, sharing his perspective, summarizing that the law in our country actually, enforce the state to provide education for all. And in the event that the state, fails to deliver that mandate, then the kind of trust that the state is holding it for on behalf of the citizens is in breach. And for that matter, there could be a remedy for those who have suffered that kind of breach. We will come to him for more insightful discussions vis-a-vis the law and the delivery of education, whether or not it's in tandem or not. But let me quickly go to Edem Zwali, who also happens to be an IT specialist. With the ICT people, they also have a view of delivering education in a certain platform, and they are championing the fact that education should be at the doorsteps of the people. And for that matter, if government has not been able to deliver education infrastructures, then there's a need for us to consider platforms that are very, very viable to do that. So let's start. Let me ask you this question, Edem. With your background as an ICT expert,
okay,
do you foresee that we can leverage on ICT to clamp the kind of challenge the government is having in terms of delivery of education infrastructures to the Ghanaian community?
Okay, thank you very much, Obenfo. I'll use this opportunity to greet yourself and your viewers as well. I say good morning to everyone watching us from Ghana and even outside Ghana. So back to your question. Yes, I think the ministry or Ghana as a country can leverage on IT to deliver very well education in this country, in Ghana. We can leverage on ICT, the tools and various platforms that has been putting together, educational platforms and even interactive platforms, and deliver education to its fullest, and we can meet our target as a country and even where we want to reach in terms of education.
So does it mean that there's no need for us to be building infrastructures, spending money, but rather we should improve on the digital aspect in our education space?
I wouldn't say so. There is always a need for an in-person interaction. When it comes to education, we can't just emphasize or just dwell on the online class and say we are doing education. It can be done, but there are some advantages that we gain from an in-person form of learning, in-person class, let's say that the traditional classroom setting that we can't do away with.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So although the online will do as good as a country, but we should still emphasize or throw more light to the traditional aspects as well.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, let me start. Let me come back to you again.
Okay.
If the traditional method is very necessary,
okay,
how do we blend it? How do we blend the traditional method and the digital infrastructures? Okay. Because we are in the country that government is supplying laptops and tablets.
Yes.
Yet students or people are complaining that they don't have, educational infrastructures like classrooms and all that. Yes. But for me, if you have your laptop, if you have your tablet, for that matter, the state has supplied you that kind of educational item.
Yes.
I don't see there's a need to have the four walls of building blocks and all that, table and chairs, because you can be in your homes and still deliver or touch base with the resources that you are looking for. Okay. So now the educational, the traditional method is useful. Mm-hmm. How do we blend it?
Okay, thank you very much. I won't take you back, but for a short research I made, I realized that this online form of learning, it began some year, let's say in the 1800s, where the Chicago University introduced a form of learning where the teacher won't be in the setting with the students.
Okay.
So it was more of a television type of learning.
All right.
We down the south, we in the Africa, let's say Africa, we just got to know about it not long ago in the 1970s.
when COVID, yes. Let me say, when COVID was able to hit us very
that's
well.
For Ghana, but Africa as a country, some countries are more advanced than us. Some started e-learning in the 1970s, 1980s. But in Ghana, we got to realize this during the COVID and post-COVID, that we can leverage on some platforms like Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, and deliver education equally as in the classroom. But we've come to realize some disadvantages of it. Going to the classroom, there are some courses, some subjects that you can't do solely online and meet or get the children benefit fully. Let's consider mathematics and let's say science and practical aspects. You can do some theory subjects online, which will be more of reading online. It can be more of reading, let's say some social studies, English, some subject that doesn't entail more of calculation. You can do online, it's fine. But when it comes to practical aspects, and let's say you and having some interaction with the students head to head or face to face, I think you have to consider sometimes an in-person form of education. Let's say you sit the student in the classroom, that's our traditional form of learning. You can't do away with it. So we can blend it, but we should consider the subject that we are dealing with first. And I think we are good to go.
So based on the content, that will inform whether or not at that particular period we need online
or in-person.
Yes. Great. That's a great submission made over there. Mr. Osei, let me come back to you. With the idea of introducing online, would that be a better ground for government to say that we have introduced online, and for that matter, the liabilities that the government is supposed to bear, not being able to provide education to the to the the masses is secured or is done with?
Okay. That should not be an absolute conclusion.
Okay.
Because in as much as we are making things accessible, there should be some research, there should be some assessment model,
okay,
to know that you are delivering the best and the people are also getting what is expected of them.
Okay.
We shouldn't forget that we are discussing education.
Okay.
When it has to do with education, it should achieve a certain purpose and its mandate. And those things must be considered. Other than that, it will be like we are giving school feeding. That is meal. And you go there, you meet Gary. Somebody will tell you Gary is also food.
Okay.
Sugar is also an add-on, and water. But on another side, a nutritionist will also come and tell you that, yes, it appears that you have ingredients to speak to as food, but it lacks certain nutrition. And for that matter, it's not going to help the health of the children.
Okay.
In that sense, you're also failing in your delivery. So we should look at what we seek to achieve and deliver the best. In that sense, we are saying that we are delivering on our mandate.
Okay.
Other than that, there will be a half-baked delivery in terms of...
So government cannot say. Recently, the Ministry of Education launched what we called the Open Space University.
Yeah.
The Open Space University is seeking to actually ensure that now, where people are fighting for hostels, they don't have chairs. You know, there are certain programs when you go, the classroom size is to take about 50. But when you go to University of Ghana, University of Kwame Nkrumah University, some courses like political sciences and all that, people troop into it, and they don't even have a space to sit. So government says that, okay, I've introduced online platforms, Open University, sit at your home, at your comfort zone, and enroll yourself so that you become a graduate and all that. Don't you think that is the way to go as you speak now, as a country?
Okay. It's interesting we are discussing this matter because for some time now I've been asking certain questions in respect to these online sections, and based on the outcomes of the crop of graduates that we are producing, even when my brother mentioned post-COVID,
okay,
and you ask yourself, are we delivering on our mandate? Because the products coming are not so rich than the products we used to have back in the days.
Okay.
And don't forget, education has embedded in it the values of the people, the culture of the people, and all of that. And we as Africans, we are noted for our culture, our makeup, and all of that. And that should not be forgotten, because that builds the niche of us as Africans. So in as much as we are educating and adding on to the things that we need to be exposed to, we should not downplay those values, such that when somebody comes out, whether through online or in person or hybrid, we are not losing sight of the rich build up of a Ghanaian person who can stand the test of time and then meet the global standards that we have set for us. But it will interest you to know, now you get graduates who comes out and says, my brother, can you write my CV for me? This is a university graduate.
To write a CV
for him.
For job opportunity.
For job opportunity.
Because when they were in school, their project work, they contracted some people to write for them.
Yes, because you see, when we are dealing with online, we are dealing with faceless beings.
Okay.
And so what happens behind the scenes cannot be interrupted. Yes. You can't say keep quiet. You can't tell the person concentrate. In as much as people try to ask random questions, even sometimes before they unmute themselves, they've already heard by voice, I'm calling you, so he has to put hold to whatever he's doing to come and respond. So the attentiveness is not there. I am saying this because the distractions of our online delivery now is problematic.
Okay.
The people from the villages, the connectivities issues are also there. And because we are few in other urban areas who speaks to the issues that they are okay, has clouded the other minority who seems to suffer with the online sections. And education deals with a lot. Even the programming, how people interact among themselves. So for me, if you ask me, hybrid is the way to go.
Okay, but solely
in the interim.
Solely online.
Solely online for me is
a problematic. You come back to you again. Adam, let me find out from you.
Okay.
When we talk of the hybrid type, you made mention of hybrid, and even some of the subject should also be considered.
Okay.
Can we say that, looking at the vast country that we have,
Yes.
and not being able to reach everywhere, can we say that every school should be part of this agenda?
Okay. It should be so. Every school should be part. But looking at our infrastructure and even our growth as a country, there are some places where you wish they have this online class, but they don't have internet connectivity. The last time we were at the north, you will have to relocate maybe from your room, go to the roadside just to access or have access to internet. So if they are in their classroom or if they're in their houses and they are supposed to join a class session, that means they will be absent for that. But it shouldn't have been so. Every student, every school, everyone is supposed or should enjoy or have a feel of this online class. Because it's not something that has come and will go. It has come to stay. And that's the new trend globally. So we can't just put ourselves aside as a country that we are not going that way. We wish we could, but since it's a global market and we find ourselves in, we have to put all hands on deck to make sure that we also get in that same track as a country. So whatever that it entails us to get on board, if it's internet connectivity, providing laptops and tablets, of which the ministry has started and is doing well, I think we have to put into it much effort that we also get there as a country.
All right, thank you. And then our viewers, if you just joined us, this is the School Bell Show shown on Education TV, and we are discussing the online education vis-a-vis its challenges and how we can, improve upon it. And on the studio we have Adam and Osei. Adam is an ICT specialist. Osei is also educationist and a legal person sharing their understanding concerning education delivery and the vis-a-vis the challenges that comes with online learning and all that. But before then, let us watch this video. There's a video that we have sourced from one of the schools in the northern region, and precisely Garo Timpani district, or Garo district. Previously called Garo Timpani, but now it's Garo district. Let's watch this video, and then we will come back and discuss about it. So if you are watching the video, this is a video that is capturing a classroom where learners are not having tables and chairs, and they are seated on the floor. And the question that we want to ask is that, yes, even the educational facilities that we are talking about, the traditional method, is not fully provided. And we are also projecting online. Will online be a remedy for this? Or how is it going to be? And I want my viewers to ask, so you can bring your comments if you are watching us. Bring your comments and let's read it for you. And then the panelists here will also comment about it. We are trying also to get the ministry's attention to this as to the reasons why these learners have been deprived. Yes, they've been deprived. Or is that the kind of education that they're supposed to have? We have Osei here who will also share with us. In this instance, will the children in this school have the right to take the Ministry of Education or the powers that be on for not being able to deliver their mandate? So that is some of the issues that we are looking at it. So Mr. Osei, let me get your thoughts on this. Would the students be able to get any remedy for not being able to deliver education or providing kind of education like this?
Okay, so I think it's an interesting discussion. From where I sit, it will interest me if we get reasonable people around the area to test the law. Okay. As a student lawyer, what interests me is to test whatever that the Constitution mandates us to. Exactly. And let's see what the judges have to say. It could become a classical case that other districts who are also going to a similar case will have a precedent to build upon. Okay. But quick to add to what my brother just said in respect to having the requisite facilities and all of that. You know, recently there was an ongoing EC registration. Okay. And just this morning I was reading from the director of elections, Dr. Bossman or so.
Dr. Bossman.
Yes.
He's a commissioner, deputy
commissioner.
Yeah.
Thank you for the correction. So clearly it tells you that they had in mind to do purely online by getting their data. But meeting
based on the document that you've read.
Yes. Okay. But meeting the challenges that confronted them, he came back to say they are doing offline registration. The question was, which one was the way to go? They thought of online. But the reality of the matter is that there are a lot of bottlenecks. And for that matter, they have to resort back to the offline. That is the reality. And so it tells you that not all is well. When it gets to our infrastructure, when it gets to our telcos, getting the requisite equipment at various or certain places where they feel that there are no much catchment for them to have a market. And so these are the things we should consider as a people, and then know which type of education delivery system that we want to adopt in the interim whilst we prepare for the future.
Okay. So looking at what you have just shown, and I don't know if the producer can still let it be showing. Do you think that online education will be a solution to some of the issues that you have just shown?
Okay. It's very unfortunate seeing this as a country. We are 67 years? Yeah, 67
One
years.
on retirement and 7 years.
7 years more.
Yeah.
So seeing this is very unfortunate as a country. And education is something we can't do away with as a country. So I think this thing needs urgent attention. Online education can help curb this, but not at this stage. Looking at these children, they need in-person relation. There are some qualities, some good things that an in-person form of education brings. At this stage, they need to be coached even when you are in a classroom, how the teacher comes in and you stand up to greet, it's a culture that we can't do away with. There are certain human relations that these children need to acquire at this age. We can't give them an online lesson at this stage and say it's okay, it's fine for them. No.
There was another one that they were sitting on the blocks. I don't know if they put.
Yes, you see some sitting on the blocks. Some have used blocks as a table to write, which is very bad. At this stage or at this level of the education, they need attention. They need urgent attention, and the classroom needs to be very comfortable and conducive to make learning even easier. Looking at these pictures or these footages, the child will even find it difficult to write. Having, let's say, 8 hours in the school, the child will.
So the issue is that we cannot build blocks, we cannot build classrooms and put tables and chairs over there. That's why we have given you tablets.
Yes.
So if we supply tablets and put educational content on it, are you saying that because of the human trace and then the developmental aspect of relationship that we get from face-to-face interactions,
yes,
still government is obliged to fill these classrooms with tables and
chairs? Looking at this, you could see that even they don't have desks. Would they have power supply in the school? Would they have internet connectivity in the vicinity they find themselves in? That would be a big deal.
School offline learning where we don't need the internet connectivity as such.
In fact, I won't surprise you. This morning I didn't have light before coming.
Well,
yes.
has visited you.
You see that? Even our power supply in the country is not stable to support this.
The ECG boss in Dominic Kwabenya, a new woman who has been, appointed as the ECG boss in Dominic Kwabenya, and I understand she's doing very fantastic, and she's so much passionate about ensuring that all those who have been taking some sort of they have not been paying their monies, they have to pay. Let me read this comment before I come to you from Randy Davison. He says, great start of a pertinent discourse. More grace to the good work. Kudos to all of you at NACOP's National Secretariat. Randy Davison, thank you very much for such a wonderful comment that you have just said. Hamdazen Gaba is also watching, and you can send your comments and be part of the show. Charles Osei Ajiman is also watching, and Charles, good morning, how are you? Send your comments and let's read it for you. So you were saying that this morning you didn't have light.
Yes.
And what is the issue?
There is no power. So if a student should have an online class this morning, that means he has skipped class or he's absent.
But it could be recorded for you to play it backwards.
Fine, that's fine. All what I want to say is that as a nation, we need to address certain peculiar or certain vital issues first as a country. At that stage, they need furnitures in the classroom. They need a conducive atmosphere to learn, rather than going to give them tablets at that spot. At that spot, I would say it's a bit unnecessary at that stage. We need to address first things first as a country.
Okay, so Ms. Ose, let me come back to you. There is this publication that has been, running around most of the platforms and all that, the Ministry of Education is doing something, and even targeting NACOPS and even Private Schools Association, NAPS also as well, that the ministry ought to have included the in the BEC, the coming BEC, the computing aspect must be a compulsory subject. The ministry thinks otherwise. In this situation, what would have been your thoughts if you are the minister?
Okay. So, thank you for that. I think I have chance on some comments, some criticisms on the issue that you just raised. I'm happy about the decision he took.
About the decision of the minister?
Yes.
Okay.
because he sits as a minister for all, not a minister for different sections. Assuming he's a minister for private schools in Accra alone, then we could have issues to battle with, because you would have said that we have basically the amenities on average size that can cause us to run ICT smoothly. But where he sits as a minister for all, minister for students in Nalugu, minister for students in Arowa in the BA, minister for students in Brekum and all the other towns and cities that we have in the country. This decision is a decision for all. And for that matter, people who took a side maybe look at it in a section, but not in a whole. And for that matter, I think that it was premature for some of the criticisms to have come out, but it's well received.
Okay.
He has gotten to understand the challenges that the nation faces. And for that matter, it does not stop the schools and the students from learning ICT. That was not what he meant. But all that he's saying is that in as much as we have ICT as a curriculum, students, teachers, and schools are not forbidden by teaching and training our children on ICT. But until we are able to, as a nation, have all the requisite tools to be able to now run a nationwide online system, I think this is the way to go.
All right, thank you for your thought on that. I have this here. Let me read. Judith Akanten from Tamale said that Judith is watching us from Tamale. Good morning, Judith, for taking your time for watching us. He's saying that looking at the government today, they are only interested in name and vote, not what happened in education. Looking at, I think Judith was watching the video that is capturing in one of the areas in the northern region, and let me find this out from the two of you this morning.
Okay.
Online, does it save educational costs? This was saying.
Okay. Thank you. Happy to have started the course. You see, when people talk about cost, at least a bit background as an accountant and all of that, I don't know where they judge it from and then where their end is. Let me give an example. Let's assume that you are supposed to have this TV studio to educate school heads, and the setup in the current market, it's a 5,000 Ghana cedis. But for some reason, you came and quoted 10,000 Ghana cedis. Then somebody said somewhere and said, "Oh, you have inflated the cost." The reason is that market price is supposed to be 5,000, but you have quoted 10,000.
You are taking 10,000.
And for that matter, you've inflated the cost, so your cost is high and it's expensive. Now, without considering the end benefit, assuming you're going to reach out to say 10,000 schools, and your education has been able to help a lot of schools to mitigate a certain problem that ordinarily they wouldn't have been able to solve. Do you now look at the 5,000 loss as against about 1,000 schools whom you have supported and helped through your education and all of that? So, yes, it reduces the actual fee. To say you were in university, you're supposed to pay by 2 semesters, say 3,000 Ghana cedis, and we are doing an online course, so you're supposed to pay 1,500. If you look at it just on that face value, you are not done. If you pay 1,500 for online, and at the end of the day, you become a half-baked, you get employed, you are not able to deliver, productivity is low, and then you need to be sacked, or more money has to be spent on graduates and train them on the job. You just oppose all of that as against the 1,500 that you forfeited for an in-person training. Then now you can do a better appropriation of costing. Other than that, costing should not be looked at one-sided. And so when people are looking at it, let's look at it holistically and see whether indeed, just by the reduction of the online fee payment alone makes it less cost effective.
Okay. So we need to even match out the cost with the educational outcome.
Exactly so.
And based on that, we will be able to understand
exactly
whether or not the cost that has been put together was justifiable or allocable.
Yes, allocable. and for a simple example, a common one, you go to market and then somebody now goes and buy a shoe of 200 cedis.
Okay.
Another person comes and says, oh, this shoe is too expensive. I've gotten one that sells at 50 cedis. Now, I don't know whether you once listened to Mr. Mwaben, the former UT boss, and Kofi Mwaben, and he said he has used one shoe for about 2-3 years. Okay. I don't think that shoe will be 50 cedis.
It wasn't bought online, eh? That's what you
I'm not too sure. but just on the cost basis.
Okay.
What I'm saying that then another person can buy the 50 Ghana cedis, use that shoe for barely about 2-3 months, and guess what? Yours can be used for continuously for 2 years and still be strong and still be fit for purpose. On that basis, if you have concluded prematurely to say that, oh, I didn't know we could have 50 cedis shoe, I could have jumped into that rather than buying this for 200 cedis. So sometimes let's look at quality, let's look at the end product, the benefit, the longevity of it, to be able to come out with a better conclusion when we are dealing with cost.
All right, let's look at the duration, the longevity aspect of the product and the outcome. Then we can conclude on that. So as I said now, it's very, very debatable to say that online saves cost.
Yeah.
I want to touch base with you, or you have something to talk about the cost.
Oh, I agree with him perfectly.
Okay.
I agree with it perfectly. But you know, we can also look at the goodies that online comes with. You know, it creates accessibility for all. And
is that
you're looking at cost?
No. So even the accessibility, is it justified?
Oh, sure.
That everybody can be hooked upon.
Yes, everybody. Now you can be in Ghana here and be pursuing a course in Canada, in China, everywhere.
If you don't even have infrastructure.
Yes. So you leverage an online internet and you'll be in a full class
I'm talking
session.
about online infrastructures. You don't have data. Your lighting system is not stable.
Yes, that's
and all that. Wouldn't that be a setback?
That's the disadvantage it comes with. And as a country, I think we are fighting to get those things resolved. But when we get there, you will see that it's actually the best way to go online.
Okay. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Online and its internet connectivity.
Okay.
As an ICT person, how do you see internet connectivity being a setback that draws education in this online dispensation, even if you want to do blended approach and all that?
Okay. Since we can't do an online class without internet connectivity, I think it is something that will set us back, very back. You can't go with connectivity in education delivery when you are going an online class. So currently, even when there is a rise in prices of internet data or something, you could see that ahotra, but there is some form of challenges, financial challenges, and it runs everywhere. So when you go to, even when you're holding a class session, the number of people you're expecting to join, even the time that you have allocated for the class, people won't join because they don't have access to internet. So as a country, I think we have to deal with internet access or internet connectivity, and that will push this online class very well.
All right, so you are still watching Education TV. Education TV, we say we educate, entertain, and inspire. And as we are inspiring you this morning, we are saying that, let me take a quotation from the Bible that this morning has really inspired us. When you read the books of Proverbs chapter 17 verse 22, it says that a cheerful heart is a medicine to the soul, but a heart that always finds it angry or a crushed heart is what? It dries the bones. So this morning we want you to be very happy. That is why we are here to inspire you, educate you, and entertain you. You are still watching the School Bell Show, and we are discussing issues confronting education in lines of educational delivery online. And I know you are also using most of the online platforms to watch us. So the question is this online issue, is it the hard time Ghana should abandon all whatever we are doing and in build infrastructures, online, very robust infrastructures, so that learning can be done solely online, or we have to blend it with the traditional method and the online. So therefore, the good aspect of the traditional learning outcomes will not be, in waste, and we can still enjoy that. That is why this morning we have in the studio Edem, an IT specialist, and Stephen, Samuel say, also being educationist and a legal person, sharing with us their perspective on education delivery in terms of online. You can join us also by watching us and then commenting on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and all our networks, so that you can also be part of this show. There is this program that is up and coming, which seeks to ensure that the private schools, teachers are well positioned and all that. And let me take your a short minute for us to watch it. We will come back very soon.
Empowering Education, the Ghana National Council of Private Schools, NACOPS, scholarship program now open for admissions. We are excited to announce the launch of the NACOPS scholarship program dedicated to providing educational opportunities to underprivileged children. Our mission is to make a positive impact on young lives, and we invite you to join us in this journey. If you are a deserving student or know someone who is, NACOPS is committed to offering comprehensive support packages to selected students, covering expenses including fees, lunch, books, and uniforms from crèche to JSS. Please visit our website to learn more and apply. Join our community to support by sharing our mission and donating to our cause, or partnering with us to create a brighter future for all, so that together we can make a difference in the lives of underprivileged children. Contact us on 053 5196 or visit our website at nacops.org to apply.
All right, so we have Majesty, say that Majesty Abubakari Musa watching us from Ejura. Majesty, good morning, how are you? And keep on watching Education TV. Tell all the Ejura people that Education TV is live and they should turn their TV sets and watch interesting educational programs that will help them to become more insightful and more educated in this current educational regime that we are all looking at it. You just watched a video that the Ghana National Council of Private School has launched a scholarship program for all structures that we have in education,
Okay.
and as a country as a whole, can we say that
side perfectly with the minister when he finally made IT an optional subject for now, not a compulsory one, because it would have been, from where I sit, I would see discriminatory if it was to be compulsory, looking at our current situation as a country now. Because as we've already said, there are schools that doesn't have light, even power in the school to even charge these tablets that they are sharing. They don't have internet access.
But they have powers in their home, so you can go home with a tablet.
Obenfo, I told you I didn't get light before coming here. We are still talking about this light issue. You see, so we are building this robust system.
Why not in this sense that we know that our power is not stable,
yes,
which it has even affected education TV greatly.
Okay.
Why don't we then think of solar power energy and other renewable energies that we can use to support this issue?
Sure, those are good options to that, but we are still not there as a country.
When will you be there?
Oh, you see, looking at our leaders, our politicians, I think we will get there. We'll get there with time. We'll get there. We'll get there. You could even see that even those laptops that were being shared, let's say 4 years ago, 3 years, there are teachers today that have still not received their laptops. So I won't be surprised that this tablet, it will also cause these same problems, that students won't have the tablets, and some will be even completing school and they will have to come back to the school and get their tablets. So I think we are not there as a country to say that we should go fully online. It will take some time as we are building robust systems, putting our internet connectivity in place, and even our power system as a country. It needs to be looked at very well before we can now say that we've grown to that extent to go fully online.
Are we not just be like we are using the opportunity, always whenever the opportunity presents itself, then we coil back and say we are not ready, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do that. Is it not just like we are playing like an ostrich type? The fact is yes, there and we don't want to face it. When? The question is when?
When? I don't know how I should answer that question, the when question.
Yeah, because you are not in authority.
Yes, you see that.
You are not in authority.
If I wish, it can be today or tomorrow, but I'm not in that power or that stand to determine that. Because from where I sit, I see that we have a long way to go before we can get there as a country and say that now we are fully fit to go full online.
Okay, Mr. Say, those countries that they have been able to do it, how did they do it? And how are we learning from these experience so that we can get there?
Okay, I wouldn't take you even far to the nitty-gritty, but I will just look at it on the readiness. I think my brother was struggling with when and how. You look at economics, they will say scale of preference. What do you intend doing first before the other? Look at our budget lines to education. Clearly tells you that we have not really prioritized education as a people.
Okay.
Because the budget to education is less than even 2% of our total
GDP.
So clearly it tells you that you are not ready. And so if we think education is the way to go, working on the budget to get this equipment, as you were saying, because I'm even curious to ask whether these schools will have a trained technicians who are on standby to be repairing and making sure that these gadgets are
well equipped
and then ready for use and all of that. Because if kids are going to handle these gadgets, you can imagine what the possibilities are. Lights out where one cannot predict wear and tear and all of that. Even the way they will go about its usage, all of these things will be a bottleneck to the rollout plan.
So the country is not ready.
I think we are not ready.
We are not ready.
But then if you are not ready, the sharing of tablets and all that, what does it mean? Or is it it's a session of people? Because the saddening aspect, I know they might be ready to do some of these things. Okay. But in the north, producers still show me the northern image where the learners were sitting on the floor and all that. And then they were seated on blocks and all that. In the north, can we say that
maybe
there's no plan
another class
and they should remain in that perpetuity?
Yeah, Ghana emobo Shankwala pa mu gunkonya ihu. Se nkonya blocks nkonya. Ghana mpanifo